I would like to have some of the more specific questions from you. For example, or Stani from Chase Cloud. Are you here?
Hey guys, hi there. So in Chase Cloud, we want to start on a transmedia edutainment brand, which basically is about entertaining and educating children from 6 to 12 about different topics, mainly entrepreneurship, but also computer programming. This leaves a lot of questions on how you do something like that in the UK market. Obviously, you need the right partners. Education is tricky. Entertainment is even trickier. I have a couple of questions, but probably the one that's most important right now is actually how can we find partners in the creative sector and also launch something that's educational, what the requirements would be legally, challenges, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. One of the things I said before was certain sectors are having a good COVID, and I spoke about e-commerce and retail tech. It's also true of content for children. Maybe not making the content, producing it's been difficult, but actually people watching it. And also something in the UK we call EdTech, so education technology, particularly into children, so people in school and so on. One of the things that I sort of speak about in terms of one of the biggest players in education and sort of children's content in the UK is the BBC. So most people, I guess, have heard of them. They're one of the British Broadcasting Corporation. They have a facility up in Media City in the UK, which is based in and around Manchester. They have both of their departments. They have children's department and their education department actually merged in the last 12 months, partly because these things are coming together anyway. We know them. There's actually quite a nice cluster around that. So if you're more interested in the creative side, you've got the creative side. If you're more interested in the education side, there's the education side. And I've actually put a number of ed tech companies in and around that cluster. That can sometimes be because they can get a commission. So the BBC actually commission people to work with them. They have spend. They want to sort of think about utilizing content in different ways, particularly if there's an education angle to it. So we can make some introductions to them in and around it. And then specifically, I mentioned before about some of the programs, and we spoke about I guess sort of accelerator program, so kind of a bit more than an incubator, a bit more of a structured way to engage. One of the biggest edtech companies in the UK is a company called Twinkle. And I've got a couple of young children, and we've used it when they were sort of not able to get to school over the last few months. Twinkle have an accelerator program. We do quite a lot of work with them, so they're another good friend of ours, DIT. They can actually do a lot of, we spoke before about mentorship, for example. They can mentor, they can answer questions, they can actually open doors. They've got a certain amount of content and product services they produce, and they want to be with other companies from across the world that have additional products or services that might complement that in some way. And there is even the opportunity for those Twinkle to invest into businesses, actually quite a lot, quite a high level if needs be. So in that particular space, there's lots of different angles to go in. The message is it's an interesting one now, more than ever. There are some nice clusters in and around, and there are some key players that are happy to engage, to partner, maybe in a very loose sense. And if you wanted to, I don't know what size or shape your business is in and what the plan is, for example, but if that sort of accelerator program, something you see yourself fitting within, there's something called Twinkle Hive, which is the specific accelerator program they have. So again, just a few ideas, but again, there's lots we can go at, but there's there would be a good fit and there'd be good things we could help you with.
Thank you so much. That sounds like an interesting way to start.
Yeah, we have been to the Media City. It's very interesting. Emily or Derek, can you add something?
Yeah, Derek again. I think you need to decide which segment of the education market you want to focus on, whether it's through schools or whether it's outside of schools. I mean, the educational technology market in the UK is massive, and as Nigel said, there are significant opportunities there. It's growing because of the challenges that COVID has presented with remote learning. So remote learning is a massive opportunity. But instead of thinking about sort of bits and places to go to. I think you really need to decide and look at which segment of the market is your product relevant in, and then once you've got that, look at the right channels in order to access and get into that market. And a guy on my team is we know of people that have great knowledge about these sorts of things. We brought in companies from, actually, it was a Turkish company that I met in Mostar at an event in Bosnia about 18 months ago, and they're in the UK now and have raised money and in the edtech space. So we've got some experience around that, but really research is key on this one. What is your segment? How do you want to get into that? Do you want what is your business? What is the model of your business? What is your go-to-market strategy? All these things need to be really decided and as part of your pitch when you decide how you want to come into the UK. Those things are really important.
Just to add one more thing for your list is the EdTech Foundation, who very happy to introduce you to, or just have a bit of a Google and get in touch with them. But they're really a really important part of the ecosystem in terms of events and kind of being a thought leader in EdTech in the UK.
Thank you very much for your answers. The next question is actually, we cannot be without at least one COVID question. So it is from Tihomir Opacic from Orange Hill Development. Tihomir, can you?
Hello, I'm Tihomir from Belgrade, Serbia, Orange Hill Development Company. We are a software development company, and we have a product which is actually a CMS that we use for most of our product as a basis, which is also commercially available for other to use. So what we've seen in our area here as the COVID situation started was kind of 2 or 3 months delay of having new deals, and then gradually it kind of continued. But what's it like in UK? So what are the prognosis for the upcoming year, let's say? And what does the startup scene look like? Are people still open in investments and partnership opportunities?
So just if you look, very often it's interesting to sort of gauge startup and scale up activity by the levels of investment. And in the first 3 months of 2020, in the first 3 months, April through June, I believe it was about 2.6 billion invested. And VCs initially during COVID, the VC firms were looking at their portfolio companies to try and ensure that they were okay to go, to continue during the crisis. I think since we've come out of that, activity has the whole thing has been resuscitated and it's very active. VCs are looking for investment opportunities, specifically in the sectors, what one might describe as the bounce back sectors. So the ones we've talked about, remote working, healthcare, health tech, future mobility, these sorts of things. So what I found is entrepreneurs are remarkably resilient. Where normal people see a problem, an entrepreneur sees it as an opportunity. So once the challenge has been considered and reviewed, then opportunity. So lots of companies have pivoted. Company we work with that is that does traditionally was DNA testing for elite athletes in order to help them with their exercise and their diet, nutrition. They now are involved in all the Premier League and English Cricket Board COVID testing. So they've adapted their testing for COVID testing. That's just something, I know that's one example, but I would say that it's very busy again. Investors are looking for investment opportunities, as they always will. And as I said, I think the whole scene, it's not the same, obviously, as it was 12 months ago, but it's still very active and there's lots going on.
Thank you, Derek. Nigel or Emily would like to add something about the COVID situation?
I was going to say there's obviously the challenge to physically meet up. So there's that anywhere, and that's not really a tech thing. That's just an anything thing. But I sort of said before, and I echo Derek's point completely. I think he's spot on. And I've given, I don't know how many sort of webinar sessions and meeting sessions and answering questions in and around, I guess, businesses across a number here. And I've got it written down on another screen because I wanted to just double check. I've done webinars on e-commerce and retail tech, ed tech, immersive technology, cybersecurity, media content, not necessarily the making of it, but the distribution of it, the monetization of it, games, online gaming, esports, somewhat controversially gambling, forgive me, but there's a broad ecosystem in and around that, sports tech, mobility tech, health tech, med tech. They've all had an incredibly good COVID, which I know is a horrible thing to say, but they have. So COVID creates barriers, but as Derek says there's lots of opportunities out there. And if you're inclined to sort of say, move further forward on these, we're here to help. And one of the things I said before, and I'll reference it again, I'll squeeze it in a soft landing, in terms of actually now how we can help you get into the UK, whichever way you want to do it. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever's right for you. We can help. And now is a time to actually take advantage of it, because lots of businesses are. So if you see yourself in that space to say, actually, I've got something that I think can, work over there, please let us know. We want to help you in that process. It might be a slightly different route to market for now. We might not be able to see you physically for now, but don't wait.
Great answer, Nigel. And Emily, would you like to add
something? Just quickly, I suppose, as an extension of Derek's nice proxy of or using investment as a proxy of kind of the health of the economy in general. Another example is kind of foreign direct investment or companies landing in the UK. And so just looking at our kind of London and Partners pipeline, this financial year, we're 25% up on what we had last financial year in terms of the number of companies that we've actually landed. And so that just shows that it is possible to set up, even during COVID times. It is possible to kind of hire people and gain traction and all of that kind of stuff. So definitely don't let COVID put you off.
So thank you very much, Emily. And actually, the last 10 minutes were for Questups to share with you what we're doing, guys. But entity registration with Remix, we were advised from different people that actually it's better to do it before January 1st, not only because it costs £12, but because after January the 1st, probably things are going to be different from companies, citizens from non-EU countries. I don't know about that, but our participants are thinking of questions. You can share what's going to happen after 1st of January, the other most interesting question after the COVID one.
I'll try and do it quickly in the same terms as with COVID. It might be a slightly different world that we're going to be operating within, but don't let it stop you. To my mind, if you're seeing the UK now as something you want to progress with, don't wait. I said that to the previous thing. Don't wait now, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily be overly hung up about the 1st of January thing, but if you are ready now, get on with it, I guess. Have a chat with Cristina and Mick in and around. I'll happily help both. Exactly what the world looks like beyond, I guess there will be some changes. I would put a very sort of simple fact out to say that the fact that the types of companies that you're operating within, the types of product or services you have, you are now and you will remain very welcome to be part and parcel of all that we're doing over here. We want you to be part and parcel of that. We want to help you in that whole process. If rules and administrations and paperwork changes, you're close to the right sort of people to help. So I would say get on with it. If you've got a specific question line behind any of those things, fine. Obviously, we can take those sort of things in a bit more detail and offline. But again, I wouldn't wait to see how things happen. I'd get on with it now.
We go back to, I've been working with entrepreneurs for about 20 years, and I would reiterate the best ones never see a problem as a problem. They see it as an opportunity. The other thing is entrepreneurs tend not to look at things in simple locational terms. They're not coming to the UK because they want to come to the UK. They think it's a wonderful country. They're coming to the UK because of the business opportunity that the UK will provide that company, that founder with his business. That doesn't change after the 1st of January. Accessing it might change it slightly, but ultimately, a good entrepreneur with a good business and a good product and solution that is scalable will find its way into the UK. We will be, as ever, 1 in 6 businesses in the UK, 1 in 6 of all businesses in the UK was established by a migrant founder. So, foreign entrepreneurs are crucial and key to the UK economy. So we will continue to welcome entrepreneurs from around the world into the UK that have the that can provide us with the opportunity, and in return we will provide them with the opportunity. So the legal stuff around it, all those things can be resolved quite simply, but it's about aspiration, ambition, and being inspired to be a great entrepreneur using the UK. I would just add that my program, we are now a visa endorsement body, so we can endorse the Innovator Visa, which is the visa that entrepreneurs need in order to locate their business in the UK, which obviously from Europe up until 31st of December wasn't needed, but we have that, we can do that. So companies that we work with that come into our program that we feel will have will be successful in the UK, we can help them with their visa application by endorsing that company. So, but people look at Brexit as a massive disadvantage, and if you're chairman of Ford or General Motors, then it is going to be a problem because of supply chain issues. We can't say that that's not true. But the fact is, as a founder of a startup or a scale-up business, the opportunities in the UK are so vast that it would be silly to overlook it. And we welcome companies, we welcome people from anywhere. So, it's an opportunity not to be missed.
Thank you, Derek. And Emily, would you like to add something?
I think Derek's done a wonderful job. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. The only things I would say is that if you are, if you think that there's a market for you in the UK, if you think that you've got customer base, then those people are still going to exist on the 1st of January. And ditto, talent. There's a huge amount of talent. There's 51 higher education institutes in London alone. Think about the kind of talent that's being pumped out into the whole country from there, and being here gives you access to that talent. I think we can't deny that it's something that the businesses need to factor in, but I think especially for all the kind of industry and size that your organizations are, I think it's very much manageable.
Thank you very much, Emily. And feel free to write to me or to Cristina or both. What would you like to see more in the next two events? Because you already have received my personal mails in the invitations for this event. The next event is going to be in January, and the topic will be funding and granting solutions. And we have as speakers Christian from Gapminder, Kirill from the UK chapter of CEO Angels Coop, and Simon, who is from Knowledge Transfer Network, and he's actually consulting us with Dreamix about the grant. I see that many of you are adding me on LinkedIn. Feel free, it's Karamanchev, and be brutally honest with your feedback in order for us to be better, and just to drop a line what we can do better, because the force is obviously with us. It's great, yet we believe that we can do the whole program even greater if you are, again, brutally honest. I would like to sincerely thank you guys. Speakers are amazing, and thank you for your time, for your great answers, for your pitches, and thank you, Cristina, for making all this possible. You're amazing, and we have really productive work for the last 2 years. And I would like to thank to our partners, BESCO, the Bulgarian Software Association, the Serbian Chamber of Commerce. There are a lot of partners listed in the program, and you can see them in order to keep the time on the spot. That's all for me. Thank you again, and you are great. So Great Britain is probably for you.
Mitko, just to add my last notes. So it's not sponsors, it's partners. So DIT is sponsoring the full program, but these are not sponsors. I want you to understand these are partners. So these are people and organizations that you can actually talk to, and you can partner up with, and you can bridge, you can find synergies with. So we are kind of all a part of the same bridge. And hopefully for those who haven't given us the 5 stars, just tell us Why? Because we want to be better next time. We do still have a lot of surprises and events up front for you, so we want to do it, improve ourselves. Thank you all for taking the time. We have 2 hours now. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Elis. Thank you, Derek, and the rest. And hope to see you safe in best of health on our next event. It's going to take place next year in January, and we are going to remake the selections, but we will keep you in mind that you already applied and you already filled in the questionnaires. So keep up the good work. Have trust in yourself, stay positive, as my colleague Teddy says. Stay positive and stay close to us. Never hesitate to contact. And for all those questions that we haven't managed to answer to, we can address them on our next event or separately per email. Okay?
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, guys. Have fun, and may the force and the health be with you.
And Saint Nicholas to bring loads of gifts and sweets.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. It was great. Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take good care, guys. Bye.
Great speakers.